Timer. Sergeant's session is 5 minutes, not 15. My topic today is predictions, some of which have been unfortunate. For instance, I predicted that Sir Anand Satyanand would be the president of the Rotary Club of Wellington. But in his efforts to get out of that, he had himself appointed Governor General. So I think that you need to pay. Now, on the question of predictions, this is an honesty test. All those who predicted that Donald Trump would become President of the United States, please stand up. Well, wouldn't you know, Yusuf and William. There is a little jingle that ends up pants on fire.
It's true though.
But if we turn our attention to the entertainment industry, in 1962, the Decca Recording Company rejected an application to record certain musicians, and they said, "We do not like their sound, and guitar music is on the way out." Who were they talking about? The Beatles. And you'll be familiar with the magazine Variety, which deals with the entertainment industry. Now, quite how they can call the thing Variety nowadays, when every movie made is the same as the last one, I don't know. But what they said was, in 1956, it'll be gone by May. What were they referring to? It'll be gone by May in 1956, referring to rock and roll music. Albert Einstein was regarded as being a genius, and of course he was a physicist, so he must know what he's talking about, when he said, "There's not the slightest indication that nuclear energy will ever be obtainable." So if any of you use energy, which won't be nuclear energy, then you can pay. Okay? On the issue of technology, Western Union had this to say: "This, open quote, telephone, close quote, has too many shortcomings to be seriously considered as a means of communication. The device is inherently of no value to us." So if you use Western Union or you have a telephone, you may pay. Thank you. IBM, I assume you've all heard of, International Business Machines. They deal in technology, and back in 1943 the chairman of IBM had this to say: "I think there is a world market for maybe 5 computers." So all the computer users, that's your excuse to pay. And our financial advisors can take heart with this little gem. The advice was, "The horse is here to stay, the automobile is only a novelty." Advice given to Henry Ford's lawyer, which caused him not to invest in the Ford Motor Company. 5 minutes is up. Over to you.
Kia ora koutou. My name is Kathleen Wright. I'm not quite used to microphones. Thank you very much for inviting me to your Rotary Club this afternoon. As usual, it's a pleasure to come along. I've been here a few times now. Thank you, Yowie, for inviting me. So I'm just here today to just give a bit of a wrap-up as to where we are at SubUrban as far as our social enterprise is concerned and the support that your Rotary Club has given us. So SubUrban is a co-working space based in Johnsonville, and we're a place for people to work who are independent workers. They might be contractors or running their own business or writing their PhD. It could be anything, but these people have been working from their homes, and as a result of that they're very isolated. So we create a place for them to belong to, a community to belong to, which is right there in their suburb. And the purpose of that is about interweaving business, community and the wider suburb to create resilience locally. My history with this particular club started when I first came up with the idea of suburban co-working, and I was very lucky for Betty Owan, who's over there, to be one of the co-founders of this project. Following that, we applied for the Akina Rotary Fund, and the first time round in 2015, and we didn't get it. So we thought we'd try again in 2016, and we did, thank you very much, and we received a prize of $3,000. And we have used that prize to very good ends. We have now opened a new suburban co-working space. It's much larger than the original one. It's above the Mobil station in Johnsonville, and you're most welcome to come and visit us. It's about 200 square metres on 2 levels, and includes a little large event space, meeting rooms, co-working space, and we're very proud of it. We run a lot of events out of the space, and of course it's a fantastic place to work. You might say to me, well, why is a co-working space a social enterprise? It's a very good question. Some people think, well, hey, it's just a shared office space, right? Well, no. SubUrban is about, our mission, we have a big mission, is to create an interconnected network of co-working spaces that are run and owned by local suburban communities around the Wellington region. Okay, and as part of this, they are not-for-profits. If they do make any profit, it goes back into supporting enterprise that benefits community within their own area. Okay, so this is very key. Nobody is making huge profits from this. It always gets poured back into a multiple of projects which have an enterprise focus. So specifically, as far as this club is concerned, you've helped us move into the new space, which has been great. That $3,000 was basically used for that. But in addition to that, we have had club members coming in to use our space, using our offices, or even coming and co-working. We've had members from the Rotary Club coming to our meetups to present, which has been hugely valuable. And most importantly, we've had one member of the club which has been on our advisory board, and that's Yusuf Mora, who's been a key mover in enabling us to be successful, which we are quite well today. Some of the community projects that we've been involved in include school mentoring with Onslow College. The other projects include an art space, because we believe that art is also an integral part of enterprise in our communities as well. We are actually supporting other projects, including the Hobby Lounge out in Tawa, for those Tawarites out there, and that's about giving business nous to people that want to create community good. Have I done my 5 minutes?
You've got another couple, one or so.
Fantastic, good, I can carry on. Okay, so the three key, if you like, foundations of SubUrban is creating a workplace. It is creating connections within the business community and the wider suburban community, and it's also about activating and managing community projects. One of the things that we find in the community is that people come up with really, really cool ideas that benefit that benefit the wider community, but they don't have any sort of business model behind it, and that's one of the things we're really trying to work with communities with, to say, okay, great idea, but how are you going to support that? You don't want to be grant funded. grant dependent for the rest of your lives. So that's one of the things that we think is very important. And finally, I guess I'd like to say that in New Zealand, in Wellington at the moment, we're talking about Wellington as being a really fantastic place to live, and we've been celebrated for that internationally. But one of the things that we're missing is if we bring people to this country, if we could bring people to this city and they are remote workers, they have nowhere to connect into. They arrive in this country and they're essentially working out of their homes and having no connections. And what SubUrban, the biggest strength of SubUrban is being able to bring those people into a shared workplace whereby they have a real working community. Thank you very much.